And Alyssa Mercante's hilarious meltdown over the South of Midnight. Now, I haven't been following South of Midnight on purpose. One, because I've been moving. Two, because I want to play the game for myself. Because, I wanted my own experience with it. Right. Even from the jump, when people were like, "Oh my god," I was like, "That's kind of interesting." So I want to see it for myself. But I do. I'm aware of the whole sweet baby shit. I'm aware of like wherever the hell else. But like this seems to not spoil so much. It's just like what she has. I don't know. We'll see. If it spoils, I'll probably forget anyway. Like who the fuck cares? We're here for the stupidity, right? What's up, Smash? What you got for me?
I mean, credit where it's due. She fully embraces the anti-hero arc where she's just like, I will fight tooth and nail to the end of time against these people. No matter how
Mm-hmm.
in the wrong I am, I will fight them physically, in her words.
I remember that shit.
Okay, so this is the latest video from former journalist Kotaku, Alyssa Mercante. She gives
I was trying to find the original video for this because I don't know how long. Do you have it actually pinned in here? Oh, it is here. Sorry, Smash. I'll watch. I'll get this all like anyway, but I want to watch her like just her.
If you have made your entire internet
Oh,
presence
and
shitting on
it's 11 minutes. Holy shit. Yeah, let's see what's going on with you. Because again, not again, but let's just rewind. Right, take two. Um, I'm aware of Alyssa Conte from her fucking meltdown about fight me physically. Right, and oh my god, if I could go back in time and react to that shit with those fucking guys, bro, I would flame them so. Anyway, her whole entire life has just been a spiral since. And apparently she's obsessed with Hassan Piker, which is a whole nother layer of what the fuck is wrong with her. But we'll see what she has to say about South of Midnight. I do still want to play it by myself, regardless of what she or anyone has to say about it. I don't know if I'll stream the whole game, but at least I want to get like an episode or two in, just to get a good fair like avowed.
people, attacking people, poo pooing on stuff in order to continue to rile up a base of disenfranchised young men, you're a piece of shit.
Well,
South
okay,
of
okay.
Midnight.
We're starting this already with this type shit. South of Midnight is art. You can't change my mind. No, no one should try to change your mind. If anyone says it's not art, they're just fucking retarded. It is literally a piece of art. And for you to point it out and say it is art, and like promptly defending it, or someone who I don't care, I don't really give a shit. It sounds retarded. South of Midnight is art. You can't change your mind. No, you can't. Regardless of how you feel about it, you can't. But that's not a dub for you. Is my point.
South of Midnight, people really like it. It is a third person action adventure game from Compulsion. They're the people who made We Happy Few. It's sitting at a 77 on Metacritic. It just
Mm-hmm.
came out on April 9th. What they are
Mm-hmm.
doing is uh, is shitting on this game and acting like this game, just like every other game that they've decided that they don't like, is indicative of the beginning of the end or the final nail in the coffin of anything that ever features anybody but a white guy. We have to go back a pretty long ways to get into why the Chuds hate South of Midnight. The main reason why the Chuds don't like South of Midnight is because there's a black woman in it, and she's the main character, and because it's unapologetically black and set in the American South, filled with black people and black music and all of those things. The other reason.
I don't think all of that is true. There are people. There are people on the extreme anti woke side that will automatically see a black woman and then say that. But if that's all you're arguing with, then you're arguing with a bunch of dummies, which makes you also a dummy. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just watching you be stupid. It's different.
why they really don't like it is because when Gamergate 2 first started kicking off last year in March, people were coming for community managers and coming for Sweet Baby and then also community managers. That was their MO, and we've talked about this a bunch. Remember? All
Yeah, because Sweet Baby. Do you know why? Do you know why? I'm sure you know why. I'm sure you've seen the fucking video. There's plenty of fucking videos of Kim Belair being fucking retarded, like in the open, and you wonder why people don't want to fucking support your projects. Take them out to coffee and terrify them with the possibility of what could happen if they don't give you what you want.
March, people were coming for community managers and coming for Sweet Baby and then also community managers. That was their MO, and we've talked about this a bunch. Remember?
That was their MMO.
Right.
I love subtitles.
Right-wing reactionaries and the people looking to make content by peddling anger and rage and fear and frustration and racism and other forms of hate and disgusting shit. What they consistently do is they target people who work at these studios that are on the lower rungs of the ladder. What they did was they found this compulsion.
I'm pretty sure that Kim Belair was like the CEO of her shit. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Games community manager on every platform humanly possible because this is what they do, and they started basically archiving anything she's ever said. And they're pointing to one tweet which is clearly a joke, and they're saying, look at this black woman, she's racist. It's just the most disingenuous.
What's a joke to you? I'm very curious as to what you'd find to be a joke, because I am 100% sure that you have read jokes in the comments and have taken them as serious. I am almost 100% sure of that. You seem the kind of person who'd fall for that kind of shit.
Bullying, harassing type fucking behavior from small men with small little brains. Attacking the community manager at Arrowhead for Helldivers. They were attacking the community manager, I think, at EA. They went after community managers because community managers are the most...
Didn't they go after the guy from Helldivers because they folded on the whole flag stuff? Wasn't that the start of the decline of Helldivers, was when they folded to that shit? Yeah, that's why they went after the community managers, because, like, you fucked up the game. Everyone goes after EA. I don't think EA's liked, like in general.
Forward-facing, the most audience-facing people. They are on social media a lot. That's why they are community managers, because they understand social media, which means they have a lengthy and storied and rich social media history, which is great for them to, mine for a content. I obviously spoke out against the behavior, initially with even the Sweet Baby Inc. piece, but then also with the fact that
yeah, but the thing about that is, who actually fucking cares?
These people were clearly making community managers, specifically female or queer or people of color community managers, their targets. As a result of that, I became someone that if people wanted to tell their story...
Hold up.
And they...
Sorry, I was getting something. I need to hear that again, because I think you might be twisting a little bit of something here. Hold on.
Clearly making community managers, specifically female or queer or people of color community managers.
So the thing about that is, the thing about your whole crowd and, the DEI shit and Sweet Baby stuff and, the like, is that they're kind of filled with those exact people that you just named. And I have no doubt that they are also community managers of those projects and teams and groups and all that shit. So, by the very nature of them getting backlash, they would also automatically be, quote unquote, attacking these people that you have mentioned. So, like, whether it's like actual hate or actual criticism, you will take it negatively and try to do this victim shit because they all just so happen to be in those groups. It's like a real circle of retardation, if you're being honest with you. It's like you're so unself-aware of what you put yourself in front of, and you're still gonna be upset when you get hit by the train. You can't play Frogger on the highway and then be upset when you get clipped by something flying by.
Their targets. As a result of that, I became someone that if people wanted to tell their story and they wanted to do so in a way where the person they were talking to understood the kind of culture around the conversation, they would come to me. So luckily,
I'm sorry that I was focused on culture around the conversation, but I didn't get what the context around
that if people wanted to tell their story and they wanted to do so in a way where the person they were talking to understood the kind of culture around the conversation.
Do you understand the culture around the conversation? Like the actual conversation, not like the stupid conversation, not like you getting upset by words conversation, like what's actually going on in conversation.
They would come to me. So luckily, one of the first job that I was able to do after Kotaku, this was my first piece that I did fresh out of Kotaku. Not long, I think the day that I announced that I had left Kotaku, I was at Compulsion Games in Montreal. Talked about this a lot. Part of the reason why these people continue to get angry about things is because there is obviously a huge cavernous hole inside of them that they don't know how to fill. And some ways that they try and fill it is by taking other people down. You will never feel satisfied with your life. That is something that money will never fix. And that is something that, your 15 minutes of fame on YouTube will never fix. So this was the first piece that I did when I went up and I actually got a chance to look at South of Midnight and look at how much love went into this game. Compulsion Games is a small studio. They were bought by Microsoft a few years ago. And obviously they got a little bit more to work with, some more runway to work with in terms of funding. That meant that they were able to kind of laser focus even more on the art style. You kind of got a little vibe of their art style in We Happy Few. But this is really kind of like honing in on a very specific kind of stop motion style, looks handcrafted art style. And it is
I do appreciate the effort. I'm not going to hold you. A lot of people were shitting on it. And I completely understand why. That could get you motion sick after a while. But like the attempt on trying something different, I really appreciate. And it also looks really good with that art style, with the art direction. It all looks really good on a visual standpoint. It does. And the biggest dub of that is you can turn it off. You can turn this shit all the way down to G just like a normal thing. But what I would prefer is like the gameplay be like normal FPS and have the cutscenes be that stylistic way, right? I think that'd be a good balance for both, right?
Game that feels, looks, and acts like, like a double A or like an indie. It's not the longest game in the world. It's not going to have combat that rewrites everything you've ever understood about it.
Oh, that's disappointing.
But it is a piece of art in the purest sense of the word.
That means nothing. Do you know why that means nothing? Because art is subjective.
Is exactly what I think of when I make the argument that video games are art, and the commodification, obviously, of video games, which is something that has to happen, is so different than art on the wall or something like that. And the culture around it.
It's interactive art. We get it. You're not saying anything fucking interesting or new. It's interactive art. That's what video games are.
Has become so enmeshed with this idea of deserving something or this is the product and the product needs to be good, that these are the same people who will
Listen, you didn't just say that to me.
Or this is the product and the product needs to be good.
This is the product and the product needs to be good in a list of like a negatively said things. Listen, do you not want your products to be good? Do you want to buy bad products? Is that where I got that fucking haircut? Like, what do you mean by this statement? Like, should products not be good? Like, yes. Okay, what is good is subjective. What you like is subjective. Art is subjective, right? But like, there is a general idea of what a good game is because you're trying to do something. You're in a genre, and that genre has good and bad games. So by its peers, is it a good game? That's a very easy way to measure the what a good game is or a good product is, right? But to list it off, like product needs to be good as like someone's feeling entitled. Yeah, yeah. If I'm paying for something, I want it to be fucking good. If it's something new in my hobby, I would like it to be fucking good. What do you mean?
That these are the same people who will liken a video game not working well when it launches to a car not driving. If your car that you bought doesn't drive and Gam Gam has to go to the hospital, she is going to fucking die. If your fucking video
Well, if your car doesn't drive, then she wouldn't be put in the position to be in, trouble. If the car can't drive, it wouldn't leave the fucking parking lot.
game that you bought doesn't work, nothing happens. You just have to get it fixed.
Well, first of all, that is something stupid bitch. Had to get it fixed. No, you have to wait for it to get fixed. You don't have to get it fixed. You have to wait for it to get fixed. Possibly with patches, maybe, depending on the studio. Could take a long time. And you fucking paid money for that game. Or that service to play that game on. Oh, you're almost like Reforged levels of fucking stupid.
So likening it to a car is just so stupid and disingenuous. But this is
you're the one who did that? Who else did that? Well, aren't you the only one talking? Am I high? What happened? Hold on.
who will liken a video game not working well when it launches to a car not driving. If your
Okay, so you're saying you're thinking of a specific conversation you had with somebody else or a comment you read. Listen, if you think it's that stupid, then why would you even comment on it? What do you see? This is what I'm talking about. You put your energy into stupid shit, like that fucking haircut.
car that you bought doesn't drive and Gam Gam has to go to the hospital, she is going to fucking die. If your fucking video game that you bought doesn't work, nothing happens.
See, that's what happens when you engage with stupid analogies in the first place. The car analogy is not a good analogy. Whoever wrote that in the first place. Or maybe she's saying it wrong, or as she presented it, the car analogy is not a good analogy in the first place. So, like, for you to engage with it and counter with an even stupider fucking argument makes you look double stupid. Like that fucking haircut.
You just have to get it fixed. So likening it to a car is just so stupid and disingenuous. But this is how people feel about games now. They think about games solely as a one-to-one product. I bought, should work, I should like. If don't like, I will harass.
You are 99.99% right. If it should work, I should like it. If I don't like, no, don't harass. That's very general. Don't like, just don't play it. Maybe ask for a refund. You don't have to harass anybody. That's the extremists that you're talking to, right? So erase this part, and you're completely right. You say it like a fucking retard because you're talking down to people, but what you're saying is not wrong.
I bought, should work, I should like. If don't
Yeah, I bought, it should work, I should like.
Don't like, I will
return, refund. Fucking retard.
Harass. There were people who were all over this, even when there wasn't really any.
I want to know what you consider to be harassment. If someone's just calling you fucking stupid, that's not harassment. Now, if the same account is like multiple times a day, like doing, like poking at you, that's harassment. Yeah, we can say it's fairly be harassment, right? But then again, if you're gonna be a little bitch about stuff, anything can be harassment to her, right? Like that fucking haircut.
News coming out. Like every other community manager that has faced this ire, the community manager from Compulsion Games had to lock down almost all of their accounts. There's been community managers who have had to relock their accounts when the games have launched because now it's brought back this harassment campaign. And this whole conversation of, oh, well, if you just don't acknowledge them, they'll go away. That's not what's happening. These people are desperate for attention. They are
Then
desperate
ignore them.
to feel some sort of validation. And their version of validation is, if I harass you enough and you block me, I won.
Yeah, to a degree. Depending on who you're talking to, some people really find glee in getting blocked. And sometimes it can be really fucking funny depending on the surrounding context. But, yeah, just ignore them. Like that stupid ass car comment. You could just ignore it. Like, it's not difficult. Now, I'm not saying turn off comments and be a little bitch about it. Just ignore it. Just know what to engage with and what not to. You clearly don't know what to engage with. That's why you fucking told someone to fight you in public or on cam, and you backed out of that.
That's not how that works. If you harass someone so much...
I don't know. Well, that got me. Holy shit. I was not prepared to see like that, or that was a weird, like a
version of validation is, if I harass you enough and you block me, I won. That's not how that works. If you harass...
It's a scene switch, yeah, but like the stutter really fucked me up for a second. And
harass someone...
It's not bad. I don't think you need a noise, but like that wasn't bad.
So much that they block you. Let me put this into perspective. You didn't win anything. You can see...
You know, we won this video. We won this reaction at you. We won this whole fucking haircut.
Sit there and try and nip at their ankles like some sort of inbred fucking chihuahua. But at the end of the day, you are attempting...
What's inbred about that? Can you explain to me? Is that what inbreds do? Do you know inbred people? Did they do your fucking hair?
To harass a video game studio that's owned by Microsoft, team of people working on a game that they love. Tells a story that's never been told before, set in a world that we've never seen before, created in a way that is completely new visually. You can sit here and shit your poopy diaper over and over and over again and hope that mama change you, but nothing is going to change the fact that you have an empty hole right here in your chest and you're trying to fill it with hate. South of Midnight is here. It's sitting at a 77.
You know what it is? It's projection. That is projection. Because, as I said earlier, your entire fucking career just nosedived after your shit. And now this is the only way you can stay relevant, by attacking by being the other side of the extreme. Oh, that's so sad.
But nothing is going to change the fact that you have an empty hole right here in your chest and you're trying to fill it with hate.
It's like she's looking into a mirror. I could just see her looking into that big ass mirror, or like her feed. Like, it's so sad.
South of Midnight is here. It's sitting at a 77 on Metacritic. Kotaku really liked it. Zach over at Kotaku really liked it. Part of the reason why these people probably don't like it is because it spotlights race, slavery, poverty, generational trauma, and death. It will upset you. You know, Rihanna Manuel Pena has spoken about how she kind of couldn't play it because it was like, you know, just traumatizing for her and upsetting for her. And
I can understand that to a certain degree. Well, I guess my TTS is still working, but I don't know if it picked up on stream. Sorry, I was completely distracted. Say it again. Oh, traumatized from her, upsetting for her. And I can see that because, you know, when I saw that trailer, I even think even commented on Luke Stevens' breakdown of it. That beginning argument and then that little scene reminded me a lot of people I knew in my life. The mom sounded exactly like my fucking grandma, and like the whole scene was just reminding me of my ex and her mom arguing. What the fuck? Shut! My phone is so goddamn loud. Shut up. Oh my god. Anyway, it reminded me of my ex and her mom arguing, and it felt so real. So I can understand someone like having say someone lost their mom and who could see their parents, see their family within these characters, and become a little traumatized. I can understand that.
That's okay. That's what makes it art.
That is
that
okay,
it moves
but I don't agree with not playing it. I feel like you should face those feelings through the game.
you. It moves you in a way that changes you, or at least makes you think. That's what art should do. If you're sitting here obsessing over the Steam charts of
That is also completely subjective.
a video game, you've completely lost the plot. You've lost the plot.
Wait, what?
Number one, you've a way that changes you, or at least makes you think. That's what art should.
Yeah, that's what art should, in your opinion, that's what art should be, right? But art should also, like, art in this medium should also be fun to play and also be written well. And those can also be metrics easily measured. It's not just what the hell you just said.
should do. If you're sitting here obsessing over the Steam charts of a video game, you've completely lost the plot.
Well, it depends on what plot you're looking at. If you're looking from the lens of the from the console war, then Steam chart, yeah. Like, what do you mean? What plot are you looking at? So that seems like something that you're dipping into something that's not in your fucking realm to dip into. Why are you fucking here? If you're not here for the war, if you're not here for the downfall of Sweet Baby projects through the lens of sales and Steam, then why the fuck are you here looking at Steam charts? That's what I'm saying. If you personally don't care about Steam charts, why are you putting your energy into it?
You've lost the plot. Number one, you've lost the plot because this game is an Xbox Game Pass game and you're looking at Steam charts. I'm sure that 6th grade was the best 5 years of your life. You're dumb. But number two, you are now once again taking a piece of art and you're trying to turn it into some sort of capitalism battlefield. Well, it sold. It did this. Who fucking cares? It's art that people.
The people who do it care. Obviously, you stupid. But what are you talking about? Jesus Christ! Why?
Well, it sold.
I said that earlier because I feel like there's a far less people who care about what the fuck she was talking about earlier than people who care about this game in this console war. There's far more people who care about the console war than care about anything that she's going on in her entire life. I promise you that.
Did this. Who fucking cares? It's art that people really cared about, that they put their heart and soul into. The people at Compulsion.
Listen, lady. Listen to everybody. Actually, you can put your heart and soul into whatever the fuck you want. It can still be trash. I swear to God it can. You can work your entire life on one thing and it may come out to be complete and utter trash. And you need to accept that as a possible reality.
We're really inspired by a very specific stop motion animation company that is also based in Montreal when they were working on the art design for South of Midnight. And they were so inspired by it that they actually went and did a visit in their studio. They went to their studio and they looked at the way that they made these figures and these figurines, what kinds of materials they needed to use to make certain things look real. You know, how they would mimic the thread in a sweater and how much bigger or smaller it would have to be for something so tiny. You know, how they would make fabric look a certain way, hair look a certain way. They basically reverse engineered South of Midnight to look as if it was made by hand and animated in stop motion, which is such a cool way to make a game. It's such a unique, inspired way to make a game. How do we take this thing that people have been doing and playing and working with forever, and how do we make it feel uniquely our own, and how do we put our touch on it, and how do we put love into it? And you're really gonna look at that and go, it's only got 2,000 people playing it on Steam. Goodbye. I
Yeah, I would definitely turn this shit off for gameplay reasons. Holy shit.
And how do we put love into it? And you're really gonna look at that and go, it's only got 2,000 people playing it on Steam. Goodbye.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I 100% have to turn that shit off for fucking. I hope to God there is one for cutscenes and one for action, because like a switch. Because I mean, I will play the entire game without it, but I will like the stop motion in the cutscene. But I will 100% go without that shit.
Beg you to find joy in your life. I beg you to find something that makes you happy, because all of this stuff that makes you so angry, it's just gonna kill you young, brother.
That felt so unnatural. I don't know if you say that on a daily basis, but you should just stop. Just stop saying it. That was, ugh. Anyway, that fucking distracted me from what the fuck I was gonna. I had a point. Hold on.
Joy in your life. I beg you to find something that makes you happy.
Right. That kind of goes with what I was just saying. Like, yes, it's cool. These things are cool how they did it. The game, they put a lot of effort into the game. That's obvious, right? But the thing is, if people don't like it, they're still not gonna fucking like it, no matter how hard you worked on it. Not you, them. You understand what I'm saying? You can't make people like shit, no matter how much you dissect it. And say, look at this cool thing, look at this cool thing, look at this cool thing. And people don't give a shit, they're not gonna give a shit. Let the people who like it, and those who don't, then they don't. If that game only has 4,000 fucking peak player count, then let it be that.
Because all of this stuff that makes you so angry, it's just gonna kill you young, brother. The combat was repetitive when I played it, but look at that. Look how pretty that is. So much effort and care into making something unique and beautiful with these losers just look at it for 5 seconds and scream woke DEI. Is this thing that has so much sadness in its face, it makes me hurt. And this is what I mean, like, you aren't moved by something like that. You live such a flat,
I have not
one-dimensional
noticed her chat. Or these just donation chats? Are these random chats? Well, she would have said thank you for the donut if it was a donut, right? Her chat's dead. What the fuck? I haven't noticed it this entire time. I mean, I have none right now. I have one usually. But again, how many people do? 756. Oh wow. 3,000 views. Wow, that's actually surprising. Alyssa Mercante's YouTube channel only has 764 subscribers. Is her main channel? It was like a fan channel. I don't know, but that's I gotta look more into that. It's very interesting. Even if your popularity did decline when you did the stupid thing, I still figured someone like you would have more than that.
Life. You live a life that has been unfortunately poisoned by social media and by, the kinds of false narratives that you can easily start to believe in social media. I would say that I pity you, but you turn your self-hatred and your misunderstanding of what art is and what games are, you turn it and you attack people with it. You face it outward.
There's so many times I can just hear her talking to herself.
You can easily start to believe in social media. I would say that I pity you, but you turn your... makes me hurt. And this is what I mean, like, you aren't moved by something like that. You live such a flat, one-dimensional life, uniquely our own. And how do we put our... to find something that makes you happy? Young, brother. The combat was repetitive when I played it, but look at that. Look how pretty that is. So much effort and care into making something unique and beautiful.
Wait, you just slid past something. The combat was repetitive when I played it, but oh, look at that. Wow, that was... You really just slid right past that? Because that's a big thing. Combat being repetitive is not a good thing for a video game. But your goofy ass just slide past that. Simple ass bitch.
Look how pretty that is. So much
Simple
effort and
ass
care
bitch,
into
bro.
making something unique and beautiful with these losers just look at it for 5 seconds and scream woke DEI. Is this thing has so much sadness in its face, it makes me hurt. And this is what I mean, like, you aren't moved by something like that. You live such a flat, one-dimensional life. You live.
So just because I don't care about something you that emotionally triggered you, I have such a flat one-dimensional life. What if I just don't give a shit that this thing is sad? Why can't that be the case?
Live a life that has been unfortunately poisoned by social media and by the kinds of false narratives that you can easily start to believe in social media.
Fight me physically.
I would say that I pity you, but you turn your self-hatred and your misunderstanding of what art is and what games are, you turn it and you attack people with it. You face it outward and you use it like knives. You're missing out. That's really all I can say. Music is great. We knew the music was going to be so good. Combat isn't anything to write home about. If you can push through some of those issues, you'll discover a wonderful, heartfelt adventure through American history. And
if you can push through some of those issues, why do you keep skating over these things?
All I can say. Music is great. We knew the music was going to be so good. Combat isn't anything to write home about. If you can push through some of those issues, you'll just...
That's so... Music is... I mean, the combat's not anything to write home about. If you push through these issues, that's not... Those are not good descriptions. This is not a good showing of the game, lady. What do you mean? All you care about is the pretty pictures. You don't care about how the game plays? What do you mean?
Discover a wonderful, heartfelt adventure through American history and
why don't you just fucking play The Last of Us?
Folklore that is unlike any game I've played. It's messy and complicated, but often beautiful and passionate. That's special, I think. I think in a world full of new Call of Duty every year, it's cool that something like this exists.
It is cool that something like this exists. It's a shame that it wasn't a better game. Again, I haven't played it yet. I have my own personal opinion, but it is a shame that a game that tried something like this isn't as popular as it. No, I don't say it just should be. Like, I think it could have been. It could have been really, really dope. Like, if the combat was better, apparently it could have been really, really dope.
And I would have said that about any game that went out of its way to try and basically invent a new art style and animation style, reverse engineering it off of something that's made by hand. Like, that's just fucking
not
cool,
really.
Dude.
That's just like, that sounds like you took the scenic route to do the same thing. Really, it's not super special.
This game could have been about a fucking turtle, and I would have been like, I'm interested in that art style, but it took it.
Yeah, because you're simple.
Even a step further, and it said, let's tell a story that we haven't told in games before that feels reflective of their world. The Crimes New Roman video you shared perfectly explains how and why this toxic issue persists in those who perpetrate it for attention and money. If you have made your entire internet presence shitting on people, attacking people, poo-pooing on stuff in order to continue to rile up a base of disenfranchised young men, you're a piece of shit.
If that is what they're doing it for, sure. But there's no way for you to prove that is the motivation. Ooh, that pause was perfect. Oh my god. I'm getting so good at that. But I want to see the comments here. South of Profit. South of Profitable. That's beautiful. Almost your president attacking people do not agree with you. You're just social political agendas. Okay, that's a lot. But you put in the effort, so I'm just gonna give you a like. Women always accusing everyone else of what she's doing. Thank you. It's a lot of projection. A lot of projection. A lot of like lack of self-awareness. Black people, no. Just because a black female does not equal skip. If that's what, listen, how I read that, you get it down for that. Oh, vomit. Yeah, that haircut was fucking wild. The lack of self awareness. See how awful a person is, and no one wants to ask for it, or the types of games. Thing. Wait, nobody wants or asks for these types of games. With blatant force DEI. If there's any you can actually want these games, there. Why aren't you buying them? Okay, I'm not gonna give it a like because you're only half right. Lack of self awareness, I agree with, but I wouldn't say no one asks for these types of games. I love people love lore games. New lore games is great. That's why fucking Ragnarok was so big because they stopped doing Greek stuff, went to Norse stuff. That's new lore. So South of Midnight's doing Southern American lore. That's fucking dope. I don't know about South American lore, and I live in North Carolina. I would love to see that shit. All right. I'm very curious about that. That's why I'm curious about the game is for the art style and for the lore. That's it. I'm not there for the gameplay, unfortunately. Maybe I can make some fun of it though, but she does have a huge lack of self awareness in other areas. They seem to have a big presence in social media, but no presence anywhere else. That's true. That's what I mean when I said that. I guess that's why her fucking thing is only 700, like sub 800 fucking subs. No way it was good as We Happy Few. I didn't finish We Happy Few. I barely played We Happy Few. I tried on like 3 separate occasions. I couldn't do We Happy Few. It is sad. It's really sad. It's super sad. All right, let's get some other stuff that's gonna be super fucking sad, but not game related. Apparently, but it is race related, ironically enough. So apparently, this dude